family members, I really, really, really genuinely love you guys. I mean, it takes a lot of intention and determination to submit yourself to methodical mentorship, right? And for that, believe me, I genuinely and absolutely love you guys. Thank you very much. And I promise you today you will not be disappointed, all right? Because we're going to be talking on something very interesting yet profound, very simple yet necessary, right? Because if you don't have an understanding of what we'll be discussing here today, then you are going to basically live your life in a manner that I wouldn't wish for anybody, because there is a certain degree of knowledge basically that you need to have for you to strive in life. You don't just live life guessing your way through. No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to live your life just guessing your way through. So there is a law of reward, right? And the law of reward basically states that you'll be compensated in direct proportion to three things. Number one is the demand for what you do. Secondly, your ability, your proficiency, or your competence in doing it. Thirdly, is the difficulty in replacing you for the value you offer. So you are in your office right now and you think your boss is not compensating you proportionately. It's not compensating you to the degree to which you think you are what. What you should understand is the law of remuneration or the law of compensation works in such a way that what the pattern of your value, the value that is placed on what you do is in direct proportion to number one, your ability, the demand for it. Secondly, your ability to do it, and thirdly, the difficulty rather in replacing you. The law of reward is all around the life. You cannot escape it. You are somewhere right now in Benue State. I can see you in Zimbabwe. You are in Cape Town, South Africa. Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. You are somewhere in Ghana, Accra, Ghana. You are somewhere scattered all over the world. I don't care where you are. Your reward is going to come. You see, sometimes life works in such a way that, you do big things, or hard things. You do hard things, and it seems as if you are not being compensated for those hard things. But here's the problem. People, after going through that process, they quit on what they are doing. I'm talking of in a secular environment right now, and in a society where meritocracy is respected. Because in the African context right now, some people might find it difficult to believe what I'm saying, but it's true. It doesn't matter if meritocracy is respected, if it doesn't matter what is in play. Reward is all around the life. It's not something you can escape, right? So I'm looking at you right now. You're doing the right thing. You're taking care of your health. You're pursuing your dreams. You found your path. You found your purpose. And you're moving towards it intentionally. You are reading. You are banishing ignorance from your mind. You are broadening your capacity. You are escaping the clinch, that hold of ignorance. You are making sure you are meeting the right people. You are exchanging the right information. You are learning. You are teaching. You are striving for what you know is for you in the universe. You are striving for what you know is your path, what you know is your purpose to be attained. I tell you, don't give up. Your reward speaks at the end. The vision always speaks at the end. If the universe shows you what, it brings you into an experiential knowledge of what you're supposed to accomplish before the time of pruning, before the development stage, believe me, you might just say you give up, because you're going to see the process and you're going to say it's too hard. I can't go through all of that. But this is what the universe does. It shows you a picture of where you're going, and then it brings you back and takes you blindly through the process. Because imagine you knowing that at a certain stage in your life, you're going to lose everything you have. At a certain stage in your life, you're going to fall sick because you're going intentionally towards your goal, towards your purpose. You might just give up. So that's how the universe works. It shows you that this is what is for you in the universe. This is what you are meant to achieve. And then it brings you back intentionally. It's not arbitrarily. because it knows that if it shows you the entire process, you're just going to give up on it. All right? So what you want to make sure to do is not to give up. Go towards it. Your reward is waiting for you. Strive for it. Go for those educational qualifications. That is what you want to do, right? Go for it. You don't have to wait for anybody's validation. Go for it. Your reward will speak. Yeah, you're going to build up on your dream. And then some people are going to look at you and, that in somewhere in the Far East, there's something called a Chinese bamboo tree, right? And this tree actually takes about 5 years to grow. Can you imagine that? 5 years to grow. In the entire period of 5 years, you don't see a sign of anything growing. It is building its roots deep into the ground. But when it begins to spring forth, it grows 50 feet tall in a period of 5 weeks. In a period of a whole 5 years, you can't see any sign of that tree growing. It has been planted. It is building its root down into the floor, into the ground. In a period of 5 weeks, after that root has been firmly placed into the nutrients intake sources, right? It has been firmly placed deep rooted into the ground. The tree grows 50 feet tall into the air. Now that's what the people will now acknowledge. So it's going to happen to you like that. There are going to be times where people are going, how long have you been how long have you been working on this? How long have you been going after your dream? How long have you been going after this path? Are you sure this is exactly what is for you to do? Are you really sure that this is what it's for you in the universe? People are going to do that to you. But let me tell you something. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Whatever your mind has conceived and you have the audacity, the guts to believe it, that's for you. Because the truth is, there is a probability that many other people have conceived that before you and they went like, nah, that's not for me. I'm serious. Many other people before you, even before you were bettered, they thought of raising that business. They thought of starting that line of education. They thought of doing that, inventing that. They thought of, and then they said, no, it's not worth it to them. But you right now, you're saying to yourself, it's worth it. In fact, if this is the only thing I do with my life, it's worth it. Believe me, that's exactly what you are meant to do. That's exactly what is for you in the universe. And you want to make it a point of intention to go after it too. What do you need to know? Who do you need to meet? What are the people you need to involve in it? Because there are some visions, there are personal visions and corporate visions. There are some visions that are given to you and you can achieve that by yourself. But there are some visions that are given to you, but you need other people to accompany you or to help you, to buttress you while you are pursuing that vision. So you want to make it a point of call to seek, to know who do I need to bring into alignment with this vision, so that vision can be fulfilled. Ultimately, it's your vision, but then you need to delegate, to spread it out, right? To bring people who are willing and who have something to contribute to it. It might be not, and then of course you compensate them, but ultimately it's your vision. So what I'm trying to say here is your reward is sure in life. It doesn't matter what you're doing right now. It doesn't matter how scruffling the process is. It doesn't matter how roof-filled it is. It doesn't matter how hard it is. You're going to get your reward. But the question is, can you endure to that time? Can you endure? I heard of a story of a man who stopped 5 feet from gold. He had dug and 5 feet to his breakthrough, he quit. Imagine that. After how many feet he dug deep into the ground, and just 5 feet to where the gold is, the man dropped and said, no, I maybe the device we used to see if there is gold here, maybe it was misfunctioning, right? So, but that's not how you want to think. The mentality you want to have is, this is exactly what is me in the universe. This is exactly what is for me in the universe. It's either I achieve it or achieve it. That's it. That's the mentality of a victor. There is such a thing as the mentality of a victor. The reason why the lion is so dominant in the wild is not because it's the most powerful, no. It's not even because it's the fastest, no. It's not even because it's the smartest, it's not. The snake is even more smarter than the lion. The elephant is even more strong than the lion. The reason why the lion is the king of the jungle is because it doesn't give up. It has that mentality of once it has sighted its prey, that is it. There is before it retreats, believe me, it takes, most times lions don't even retreat. Once they sight their prey, you're going down. It's either you kill them or it kills you. That's it. That's how lions resolve. And that's exactly the mentality you have to have if you want to do something reasonable in life. Something that is going to, outlive you as a human being right now. All right? Reward is what you give to somebody in recognition of effort, in recognition of service, in recognition of contribution, in recognition of achievement. I repeat, the definition of a reward is something given to someone as a recognition of service, as a recognition of effort, as a recognition of contribution, as a recognition of achievement. So that simply tells you that there are some things that in life that are gifts. The gift of life is a gift. You might be bettered with the gift of hearing. That's a gift. Many other things in life that you will come across that are gifts. But there are many things in life that are not gifts. There are rewards for what you do. That means if you don't do something, you're not going to get those things. Good or bad. If you don't, good or bad. If you don't strive for what is yours in the universe, you might never get it. But here's what I'm looking at. What's the worst case scenario? What's the worst thing that can happen? You don't achieve it. What's the worst thing that can happen if you picture it and don't go for it? You won't achieve it. All right? So you've seen it. You want to make sure to move towards it, because that's where the reward lies. And just forget the naysayers. They don't know what they are saying. I'm being serious right now. Forget the naysayers. Guess what I'm looking at? So those people that tell you that your dream is not possible, what are they doing? They don't even have a dream. In fact, most cases, the naysayers are those people who most times they conceive something and immediately drop it off. They don't even allow it to resonate, to reverberate in their head. But that's not you. You've seen it. It's been giving you sleepless nights. You've seen that it's achievable. It's out there. It's something that is meant for you out there. And what you want to make sure to do is start to move towards it. Because, as I said again, your reward in life is going to be in direct proportion to three things in the secular environment. The value you offer, number one. Your ability to offer that value, number two. Your proficiency, that's your competence in offering that value. And then thirdly is the difficulty in replacing you. That's why doctors, lawyers seem to be highly compensated to some degree. And then businessmen, the value they are offering, it's difficult to replace them. It's difficult. Imagine going to a mechanic, or respectively speaking now, with all due respect, maybe a plumber, and then you have something wrong with your brain, and you're going to a plumber to solve that problem or that difficulty. No. And that's exactly, I'm not saying there are some plumbers that are highly compensated. It takes a level of competence and a level of vision to rise to a position where you can be highly compensated above a medical doctor as a plumber. But ultimately, here's what I'm looking at. Your ability to do what you have chosen to do as a value, as a solution to prefer to your generation, is going to be a defining factor to what your compensation will look like. So make sure you know exactly what you want to do, and make sure you do it so well that your world cannot take their eyes off you. And what you want to consider also is, many a times people tend to miscalculate their steps. So they believe their motive in pursuing what they are pursuing is not a necessary factor, but it's very important, because reward in life is going to be buttressed by your motive. The reason it takes a level of resilience to achieve anything anything good in life. It takes a level of tenacity, a level of importunity, in fact, to achieve anything worthwhile in life. So what you want to make sure to do is to correct your motive. Correct your motive. You've seen you've pictured it, you've conceived it. This is exactly what I want to achieve in life. This is my goal for the next 1 year. This is my goal for the next 2 years. But then before you achieve that goal, there are going to be obstacles. There are going to be hindrances. There are going to be deterrences. Now, what exactly is going to keep you in the right frame of mind while you are experiencing those difficulties is the strength of your motive. So you want to make sure that your motive, your motivation, the reason, the intent for which you are doing what you're doing is strong, and it's within the frame of righteousness. I'm using righteousness right now not as a religious word, but just to encompass the symbolism of what I'm trying to portray, right? So you want to make sure that it's something that will sustain you, that will give you that mental right frame of mind to pursue it amidst the obstacles, because the truth is, you're moving into a new terrain that is obstacle filled. For you to achieve that state that you're looking for, where you seemingly become comfortable in that terrain, of course you have to battle off many challenges. They are going to come. So you want to make sure that it will be worth it for you. The fight will be worth it. That's why they say an angry lion is a deadly lion, because at that time it is either it dies from hunger or it dies from going after its prey. So you want to make sure that to you, your hunger is worth it and your prey is worth it, right? So correct your motive. And the second thing you want to correct is your degree of compliance. Your degree of compliance to the requirement. I have made this statement over and over again, that you cannot give a course curriculum meant for a medical doctor to an aeronautical engineering student, right? You don't do that. Why? Because is the material wrong? No. Is the course wrong? No. Is the student studying aeronautical engineering stupid? No. But the material is wrong for the person you're giving it to, what the person is hoping to become. Right? Albert Einstein said this. He said, everybody is a genius, but if you judge the ability of a fish by its ability to climb a tree, then you are going to be disappointed. You get that? If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, then you're going to be disappointed, because a fish cannot climb a tree. So you want to make sure that you are compliant to where you are going to requires. What's your intention, your purpose, your path, the path you've chosen, what it requires. All right? Consume the right material. Shut down the TV if you have to. If you need to, watch programs that are educating you, increasing your capacity within the scope of influence that you want to step into. That's what you want to do, believe me. And trust me, I'm not saying this arbitrarily. I'm saying this out of, I would say, experience, and then the degree to which I've dedicated myself to learning from other successful people, right? People I'm striving to be like. I've attained a level of, but then I know that exactly, this is not exactly what I want to do. This is not exactly where I want to be, right? Even if this is what I envision in the long run, but this is not exactly where I want to be. So I've made it a point of call to enlighten myself, and I've seen it. I've seen what these guys do, where they go, what they do with their time, what they dedicate themselves to, the materials they consult, how they prepare themselves, and that's exactly the body of information I need as an individual. So what do you need? Do you know exactly what you need? You have to be compliant to what is required in your area of concentration, of dedication. All right. So don't forget what we've talked about so far. Reward is going to be in direct proportion to your ability, or should I say the demand for your value, your ability to do it, your proficiency in doing it, and then thirdly, the difficulty in replacing you, right? And your reward in life is ultimately going to be in direct proportion to your service, what you do, the service you offer, the degree of service you offer. You do it in a larger scale, you get a larger reward. In a lesser scale, you get a lesser reward. So that's exactly what I want us to understand here today. And I wouldn't want to proceed further, but thank you for your time. I really do appreciate you, and I'm trusting that you've learned a lot. Share this to as many as you can see and find, and so they can have this body of information, really, because it's important that people understand that life doesn't hand out gifts anymore. The gifts you have right now are all that life has given you, your life. So everything else from this point to the next 10 years, to the next 5 years, to the next 20 years, what you're going to be achieving is going to be a reward for what you do. Even if people favor you, it's a reward of your personality. Even if people bless you, even if people just gift you, it's a reward. They've seen some level of value, they've placed some level of value to your person. That's why they are rewarding your person.